Hi everyone, Michael Cavacini here with your Book Daily Deal. Today's Book Daily Deal is Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. This is the book that inspired House of the Dragon, the hot new show on HBO that everyone's talking about, the prequel to Game of Thrones. You can get this book right now for 72% less than the regular price. Just click the link down below and you'll be brought to Amazon, where you can take advantage of this 72% less than regular price offer. Can't beat that. But here's the summary of this book for those who don't know about it. All right, so #1 New York Times bestseller, The History of the Targonians, comes to life in this masterly work, an inspiration for HBO's Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon. Centuries before the events of Game of Thrones, House of Targaryen, the only family of dragon lords to survive the doom of Valyria, took up residence on Dragonstone. Fire and Blood begins their tale with the legendary Aegon the Conqueror, creator of the Iron Throne, and goes on to recount the generations of Targonians who fought to hold that iconic seat, all the way up to the civil war that nearly tore their dynasty apart. What really happened during the Dance of the Dragons? Why was it so deadly to visit Valyria after the doom? What were Maegor the Cruel's worst crimes? What was it like in Westeros when dragons ruled the skies? These are but a few of the questions answered in this essential chronicle, as related by a learned Maester of the Citadel, and featuring more than 80 black and white illustrations by artist Doug Wheatley. Readers have glimpsed small parts of the narrative in such volumes as The World of Ice and Fire, but now, for the first time, the full tapestry of Targaryen history is revealed. With all the scope and grandeur of Gibbon's The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, Fire and Blood is the first volume of the definitive two-part history of the Targaryens, giving readers a whole new appreciation for the dynamic, often bloody, and always fascinating history of Westeros. So yeah, Fire and Blood. This is the source material for House of the Dragon on HBO. Have you read other books by George R.R. Martin? Have you watched Game of Thrones? And have you read Fire and Blood, or do you plan on reading it? And, of course, are you watching House of Dragon, and what do you think of it? I actually met George R.R. Martin a few years back at Thriller Fest in New York. Real nice guy, just a regular person. And I was the only person who didn't talk to him about Game of Thrones, because it's not really my thing. And him and I actually talked about music and rock and roll and, what he liked, what I like, and stuff like that. So I think he actually appreciated that I didn't talk to him about Game of Thrones, because I have a feeling he's tired of talking about Game of Thrones to people all the time, probably the same questions over and over again. But nevertheless, what are your thoughts on Fire and Blood, and what are your thoughts on House of the Dragon? Is it as good, better than Game of Thrones? Feel free to comment down below. And if you want to get a copy of Fire and Blood for 72% less than the regular price, the link's down there for you to click so you can buy yourself a copy. Thanks so much for tuning in. Enjoy the book, enjoy House of the Dragon, and happy reading.